Good morning, everyone. My name is Leslie Richardson, and I'm the Economic Development Officer for the Cape Cod Commission. Just take a second to get my report, PowerPoint up, but while I'm doing that, I'd love to know a little bit more about the audience. So whoever's in the public sector, could you please raise your hands if you work in the public sector? Thank you. And those who work in the private sector? And those who work for nonprofits? Excellent. So it's a pretty even distribution, actually, which says a lot about the SmarterCape Summit and SmarterCape partnership. Thank you all for coming here again today. We're working here to build a vibrant economy, and in order to do that, we have to work together. That's the key to our success. How do we do that? We start with a set of goals, some of which Secretary Bielecki already spoke of, some of which we'll go through here. Then we make a plan. The plan that we have on the table today is the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy, which was completed in 2009. And today we're here to celebrate many of the initiatives that were included in that plan that different parties have taken leadership on to see through to the end. And then we take action, and that's what we've been doing for the past 4 years, is taking action and trying to see that plan implemented. So first we start with some state goals that are consistent with those on the Cape. Secretary Bielecki already talked about economic innovation and entrepreneurship, but this is really central to our future. This is what creates jobs, and this is what creates wealth. And this is something that is true not just in the private sector, but in the public sector. We have to be innovative as well in order to succeed at our job, which is to protect the public good and to regulate or to help plan the future. Commonwealth goal number 2 is a well-maintained infrastructure. This is really the central role of government as I see it in economic development. For Cape Cod, this means building a wastewater system for the next century, for this century, excuse me. We need it now. And it also means maintaining the infrastructure that we have today. Fair and fast business climate. Now, as a member of the Cape Cod Commission staff, this is incredibly important to me. Economic development requires that regulation be done in a fair and consistent manner, in a manner that's efficient, that gets things done in a timely way, but that is fair to the public as well. We represent the public, that's why we're here. Now we have a series of local goals as well that are encapsulated in the regional policy plan under economic development. And these are the goals of the CEDS. The first, which is a very Cape Cod goal, is to preserve and enhance our environment. As Wendy very often says, our environment is our economy, and if we undermine our environment, we undermine our economy. This is absolutely essential. The second goal is to create a balanced and diverse economy. We don't want to be a single company town. Tourism is an essential part of our economy. It's going to be an essential part of our economy in the long run, but we need to continue to diversify and to create opportunities for all of us who live here 24/7, 12 months of the year. RPP goal number 3 is to create regional income growth. This means enlarging the size of the pie. This means bringing money into the region so that everybody has opportunity and job opportunity, as well as the opportunity to create wealth and to bring up their families, educate their children, have an opportunity to enjoy the natural environment of Cape Cod. So putting all those goals together, we pair them with action. We have a 3-part plan of action in the CEDS, in the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy. The first part is research and data dissemination, because you have to know where you've been in order to know where you're going. The second part is the RESET program, which is a technical assistance program for towns to help them overcome obstacles that have been preventing economic development in their borders. And the third is the regional priority projects. We came up with over 18 regional priority projects in the last update of the CEDS probably a little bit too many, but we had a huge amount of participation from the public. We had over 100 stakeholders help us come up with these priority projects, and they're designed to really move our economy forward. So first, research and dissemination, data dissemination. Research, we've done a variety of things. We've done myth and facts briefs where we've discovered that locally owned businesses create 3 times the ripple effect of a chain store in the local economy because they hire local businesses, they hire local lawyers, local accountants, local insurance agents, local marketing people. All of those services for a chain store or a national store are offered off Cape, whereas a locally owned store would employ Cape residents. So they have a greater impact on our economy over the long term. We've learned that density is a less expensive form of development than typical 1-acre zoning. We've learned that, we've learned that the arts contributes about $55 million to our economy on an annual basis. We've learned that second homeowners plan to relocate to the Cape full-time. About 22% of those second homeowners that come here today plan to come and live here full-time in the next 15 to 20 years. And finally, we've learned that the major obstacles to business development on the Cape, the major obstacles are healthcare costs, utility costs, and our cost of living. We know from our research dissemination efforts through Stats Cape Cod that disseminates federal and state data that our economy is a $7.5 billion economy, that our personal income is about $11.4 billion, that our regional income has been declining since the recession, but is slowly moving up, but is still not where we were in 2001. Our wages are going down a little bit. Our average wage is actually flat, but our total wages are going up a little bit. Excuse me. And then finally, our employment is becoming slightly more diversified. Those are all contained in the benchmarks on the Stats Cape Cod website. Stats Cape Cod also has profiles of every county in the United States, so you can compare Barnstable County to anywhere else in the United States. It also has profiles of every town in Massachusetts, so you can compare Barnstable to Orleans to Brewster to a town out in Western Mass. The second part of our plan of action is the RESET program. And we've worked in 4 communities so far: Yarmouth, Bourne, Falmouth, and Barnstable. In Yarmouth, we did a land use analysis along Route 28. We made zoning recommendations, and then we also did a site plan for an old drive-in movie theater site that they have, sort of a sustainable development alternative use site plan. They have since adopted zoning along that corridor and are working on looking at how to utilize that site in the future. The Bourne Reset project was particularly successful in the wastewater planning area, and we also assisted them with establishing a growth incentive zone for downtown's Buzzards Bay. So we're really laying the groundwork for future development, future concentrated development within the Buzzards Bay area. In Falmouth, we looked at a particular site, and that was an opportunity to bring all of our resources together, which is the goal of a RESET project. The Cape Cod Commission has people who are wastewater engineers, they have hydrogeologists, transportation engineers, economic development officers, all sorts of different people with planning and technical backgrounds to bring to bear on a project. So in that case, we helped them put together a conceptual site plan for this piece of property. In Barnstable, we're currently working on the 4 regional retail centers along Route 132. We're looking at different regulatory options to see how we can expedite redevelopment in those areas. We've created different conceptual site plans for each of the different areas, and we're looking to combine the site plan with the regulatory program so that we can see not only change in the short term, but long-term change in those areas that will help to continue to see strength and economic vitality in this area, so that we see redevelopment rather than new development in other areas that are less able to handle it. Regional priority projects. We have a number of regional priority projects. Excuse me. Some of which are run by the Cape Cod Commission, including the Wastewater for Economic Centers project, including Waste Minimization Grant, which we work on with the Cape Cod Cooperative Extension Service. We've worked on the Coastal Use Templates Report, which we completed several years ago. And then we also have partners. The Cape Cod Fisheries Trust is a partner, along with the the Community Development Partnership. They have worked very hard to establish the Fisheries Trust program. The Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, and we'll talk about some of the work that they've done with us. But these projects are really about partnerships. That's the bottom line. Without community partners, we really would not have been able to have the successes that we've had today. So, in moving forward, we want to see continued collaboration. And what's next is the 5-year update of the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy. We need to come together as a community to update that plan, to streamline that plan, and to really move ourselves forward for the next 5 years. So I hope you will all join us in that effort, and I'd like to say thank you again for coming to the summit, and Wendy will be our next speaker.